Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit, revisiting this account of the total solar eclipse, which will be seen in totality across America next year, actually less than a year, April 8th, 2024. As you know, I believe the first one we had was in 2017. It may have been in August, if I'm not mistaken, August 21st or something like that. Salaki has been a while. But the path of totality going through the Midwest and throughout the country, actually the Lord allowed us to see that here in Kansas City, and it was beautiful because for the simple fact, it was cloudy as hell that morning, like literally cloudy. And I want to say the eclipse came in probably like around the afternoon or late afternoon, like between 12 and 1 in the afternoon. And for a second, I didn't think I was going to see it because I'm like, shit, it ain't nothing but clouds out here. But the Lord opened up the heavens so we can experience it. And the eclipse lasted for like 30 seconds or so. Everything went dark, then everything went back light. But to show you how nature is on a frequency, because when the sky went dark, then all of a sudden all the night creatures, the crickets and everything like that started to sound because they're on a frequency, they're on a vibration. Show you how everything is perfect order with the Most High. But what was so spiritual about it all is, I want to say about an hour after the solar eclipse ended, the clouds came back and it was a badass storm in Kansas City that night. I mean, it was like horrendous, horrible, which shows me that the Lord wanted us to see that for a particular reason. Okay, now another eclipse, which is 7 years after that one, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, which 7 represents a completion, which you're not getting all into numerology and none of that stuff. But what are the chances that election year is next year? And you got the Title 42 that expired, and you have the elites or the lower level luminaries specifying all this violence taking place in America. Okay, all this violence, this chaos, this civil war that's coming. Something big is getting ready to happen on this place, man. And if you look at this, X marks the spot. Who knows, man? You know, who knows, man? Lord's will, we can be up out of here. Or at least there's some sign that Yahweh Shai is getting ready to lay desolate the kingdom of Babylon, man. Okay, for all the hell and the wickedness that's transpired through this place. Now, I have an article here, and I've done a lesson on it a while back. Pretty lengthy, but it says how America would collapse by 2025. Okay, now when you read this article, which is on point, man, and I can type it in the description for you brothers out there that may not have had a chance to read it, so to speak. It's on point, and I mean it's completely accurate. It's on point with a lot of the things that they're stating as far as the economy and the viruses and all this other stuff and the infrastructure and the morality of the people. It's actually spot on point. You can't even deny it. And then you have this phenomenon, which 2017 to 2024, Xing out Babylon the Great. Hopefully this is when the Lord comes back to judge this place, man. Okay, because I was looking at this video and he goes way the fuck off. But like the first minute of the video, he made some interesting points, which I'm gonna play. But the rest of it, he just went completely left. But I'll play like a minute and a half of it and let you hear what he's saying. But here we go.
What's going on, y'all? It's the Conscious One coming at you. Oh man, I can't go to sleep tonight, and then all of a sudden I started thinking about this 2024 eclipse and how X marks the spot. And I just, like I said, guys, I've been home almost a whole week straight, something I haven't done in, God, I don't even know, maybe 3-4 years, I don't know. But interesting thing about this 2024 eclipse and how it X marks the spot is X marks the spot is Carbondale, Illinois. Now, this path of totality, where X marks the spot, is also significant because I forget how many miles, the lady's probably going to talk about in this video, how many miles it is above the pyramid in Tennessee. So this intersection has everything to do with Egypt and possibly us being able to be, exodus out of Egypt. That's what I'm really hoping for.
See, now he goes into all that numerology shit, man. All that look, man, squad all that. All right, we just know according to the scriptures, the Most High putting certain ordinance in the heavens for us to tell the seasons and times, man. All that pyramid 6 look, man, that's irrelevant. Okay, scriptures tell you plain as day what to look for before the great day of Yahweh Shai. So we gonna go into that. But he did make an excellent point when he stated that X marks the spot, little Egypt, and America is considered Egypt. Okay, it's too many parallels and striking comparisons to prove that it's not Egypt. And we know, according to the scriptures, the Most High said he was going to bring us into Egypt again on ships. Okay, I mean, you just can't, it's no coincidence with that. All right, so matter of fact, this is the book of Jeremiah 16, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that it should no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, because remember that first Exodus, when we were delivered by the hands of Moses, and we was led into the wilderness to go to the promised land, which took 40 years. It says, but the Lord liveth, that brought up, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he have driven them, and I will bring them again to their land that I gave unto their fathers, man. Okay, so that's the point, the deliverance from this Egypt, which is America, which a bulk of the deliverance is going to come from this side of the world. Yeah, you have Israelites that's dispersed, but majority of the tribes are going to be delivered right here from America, man. Okay, the place of our captivity. All right, so let's go here. Genesis, the first chapter. This is the book of Genesis 1, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years, man. Okay, signs. Okay, signs of particular times that observe our feast days, times when the Lord is getting ready to bring judgment, times when, the Yahweh Shai says to come. The Lord gave us specific things to look for. Okay, because you go into the word signs. Okay, it goes into a signal, a banner, a remembrance, miraculous sign, an omen, a warning, a distinguishing mark. Okay, and this is nothing more than an omen and a warning for the grim future of America. Okay, because after that, whatever happens, I mean, we are already at the end. This place is done, but I believe after this, it's a wrap, man. And I'm not saying that the Lord is going to come back on that day and deliver. No, but meaning that the Most High's judgment for this place is going to be executed, because they're talking about all types of anarchy during the next presidential election. Okay, will we make it to the next presidential election? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, Lord's will, we don't. But even then, if we do, it's interesting to see how these things are going to play out, because Esau already has it in the cards as to the civil wars and the proxy wars and the world wars. We may be in full-fledged world war by next year, man. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is getting ready to make power moves on this place. But it says something is definitely going to happen on this day. Well, you don't know that. Something happens every day, But regardless of that, that's not the point. The point about it is this is an omen. Okay, the downfall of America, the downfall of Babylon the Great, and the downfall of this Edomite empire, man, because it's overdue. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 21, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, prepare the table, watch in the watchtower, eat, drink, arise, ye princes, and anoint the shield. For thus hath the Lord said unto me, go set a watchman, and let him declare what he seeth. And we see the end. We see in America being destroyed. We're seeing the deliverance of the elect, the hopeful elect. We're seeing the end of the Edomites, man, and the other nations going into slavery. And it says, let him declare what he seeth. And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen a chariot of asses and a chariot of camels. And he hearkened diligently with much heed. And he cried, a lion, my lord. I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole nights. And behold, here cometh a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of our gods he have broken into the ground. All right, so that's the point, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to break this place down. O my threshing in the corner of my floor, that which I have heard of the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, have I declared unto you. And the burden of Duma, and he called to me out of Seir, watchman, what of the night? Watchman, what of the night? Okay, because the Lord commanded us to stand upon our watch, man, and blow the trumpet, and to declare and to report on the things that's coming on the planet Earth. Not to sit back on our talents and to have an Israelite party and smoke blunts and commit adultery and rap and show blicks on camera. No, the Lord didn't tell us to do that, but he commanded us to be a watchman. Okay, that's what the Lord told us to do. Not our own bullshit that we've been engaging in. Okay, because this is a job, man. This is a business, and you have to treat it as such. All right. This is the book Sirach 43. And I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Okay. A sign of the world. What's that? The signs, the end. Okay. Like in Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, it says, behold, the end is come. The end is nigh. The end is come. All right. 2 Andrews 9:1, it says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest the part of the signs pass, which I've told thee before, and what some of the signs, the blood moons, the solar eclipses, which solar deals with the sun, the lunar deals with the moon. Okay, you have the blood moons, the solar eclipse. You have the chariot sightings, man. You have the heavens turning. There in certain countries, man, you have black soot covering the sun to the point in broad daylight is appearing to be freaking midnight, man. Okay, the Lord is sending all types of signs on earth, from pestilence to plagues to famines, to judgments, man, to earthquakes, to volcano eruptions, man, to freaking deserts becoming river-filled deserts now, you know, water popping up in the middle of a desert as streams, which that was prophesied to happen. These are all signs. Then thou shalt well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. It says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then should thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Okay, and this is none other than a sign, which is 7 years apart, which 7 represents completion, and it says X marks the spot, which I believe the X when the Hebrew is the tha. All right, but even in some cases it looked like it made a sideways A, which is the ah. So, you know, hey, whatever that, you know, through the spirit, however the Lord has this go down, this is nothing more than an omen. All right, this is an omen that the lights of Babylon the Great is getting ready to be cut off for good. All right, and this is a map of totality of what we can see it. So if you're anywhere in the Midwest, from down in Mexico to the East Coast, to the Northeast Coast, you can see it. I mean, to the point you can see it all throughout the country, you know, honestly speaking, but certain provinces are going to be literally in the sight of totality. Like, I believe we're going to see it in totality again, because when it hit us the first time in 2017, it was a full, I mean, we got the full brunt of it. I mean, it was not a cloud in the sky until after this event, which was, you know, magnificent amount. You know, it was pretty amazing, you know. And like this madness here, it says 400 years of captivity ends in the fall of 2024. Israel rising in Christ. Just a bunch of madness, man. You know. But anyway, a couple more precepts. Then we gonna end it. But the point is, this is an omen. And Yahweh Shai told us to look forward to these things, all right? This is the book of Matthew 24. And I'm gonna start at verses 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, none ever shall be. Except those days should be short, there no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake those days were short." They're talking about a new, a new so-called, coming on the planet Earth, man. All right. Matter of fact, I was looking at Redacted, if I can find it. It says here, they're prepping us for the next, was a rehearsal. Okay. And I haven't watched that video yet, but I'm damn sure going to watch it after I shut this video down because, it makes sense now. All these plagues and these pestilences are coming upon the earth. And the Lord told us that no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So a lot of people are getting ready to die, man. Okay, mass death is coming to the Americas, to Babylon the Great, and around the world. But mass judgment is coming to America, man. All right. And it says here, 27, it says, "As for lightning coming out of the east and shining even into the west, so should the coming of the Son of Man be," because this is going to be a worldwide event. Everybody's going to see him. And it says, "And for whatsoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together, the dead bodies." It says, "And immediately after the tribulation of those days, should the sun be darkened, and the moon should not give out light, and the stars should fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens should be shaken. Then shall the appearing of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." Okay, so that's the deliverance. But the Lord showed us what will happen prior to the deliverance. "Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors." Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make. So, hey, call law Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. And with that, Shalom and above all, Shalom.